Hey there, y'all. Today we are talking about Jack the Ripper. Jack. Oh, he is just one of those characters that are just so great in Ragnarok. Arguably the best or second best written character in all of Ragnarok. Fantastic character and a fan favorite, I gotta say, from what I've seen. And yeah, Jack's just a fantastic character. So let's just dive right into his character analyst, shall we? All right. We'll go in chronological order of his appearance all the way to his where we see him currently at in the story of Ragnarok right now. And I won't be talking about his spin-off manga. I did read most of it, but as we talk about Ragnarok, I do believe that what we see here does should stand alone on itself, since this is the main source of entertainment of Ragnarok. And I believe that the source material is we should stand up, and the other supplementary material is good stuff to add. You know that for sure. Because what I've seen of that, I do like some stuff. Some stuff I don't like in Jack's spinoff, but here we'll just talk about Jack as we see him in Ragnarok, and even just Ragnarok is fantastic. All right, so Jack, poor Jack, he was a prostitute baby. he ah Yeah, Jack, when we see him, his mom kept him, and even Annie, another fellow prostitute, does bring it up that it's odd that the mother did keep Jack alive. And again, we really don't know if his name's Jack. We really don't know, honestly. And also, we don't know the mother's name. We do know the father's name. We don't know the mother's name is Mary. Mary. I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry. My bad. My bad. But yeah, we know Jack. Jack. You know, he's Jack, but we don't know officially his name. But yeah, he was just a child that was just born to a prostitute. He was born in a he was he grew up in a prostitute home, and he would go out, try to get food, for him and his mother, and he would get beat up by people that they caught snooping in their trash, and he would use his eye to, I guess, make him look more pathetic, and and like pitiful, so that way people would, feel like, not feel bad, but feel superior and be like, all right, get out of here. As we see the chef due to Jack, as Jack just kind of submitted more, and he just had the superior colors to Jack's eye, and he's like, all right, just get out of here. I don't want to see you here ever again. And Jack would just play with that because, again, he's just a child. He's a very, very young child. At the age of 12, actually, now I'm looking at it right here. So yeah, poor Jack, just a 12-year-old child, just trying to get by, just trying to help his mother out any way he can, even just not good food. And of course, he gets beat by this chef. And then when he goes up to his mom sees that he's hurt pretty bad, and she, tears off some of her clothing, to wrap it up, say that no, she doesn't want nothing bad to him because she's the best thing to ever happen to him in his life. Remember that. As Jackie, just hanging out on the stairway, and Annie comes up saying, "Yeah, where's your mom? Does she have guests?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's up there busy with the clients." And she's like, "Oh well, I don't see what people find interesting in her." And she's like, I do really feel bad for you, Jack." And Jack's like, "I don't know why you feel bad for me. I'm the happiest boy in the world because he has a mother that loves him." Wait for that. And then we hear the mother crying upstairs later on, and she finds out that the dude that's Jack's father is going to marry another woman, and she's just breaking down right there. And then Annie figures out, yeah, that that Mary was gonna that dude made a promise to Mary that he would come back for her once he makes it big, and so she kept Jack as child because she aborted all the other children she was impregnated with, but with Jack she kept them because she figured that the father would actually, come back for her. But again, as Annie said, that's a prostitute times oldest time. That's just the way it is. It never comes true. And then later on, when Jack's trying to console his mother, she just gets furious at him, just tells her, get away from me. But Jack still tries to play like, yeah, mother, it's fine, all right. We'll get through this together. And she just goes off on Jack, saying, I should have aborted you. I should have never gave birth to you. You're just useless. I was gonna use you to get, to be with Jack, but you know what? Yeah, this is all useless. And Jack just starts breaking down. It is so sad for this poor boy. And then she starts yelling, and then Jack kind of snaps and starts choking her out. And she starts, actually, convulsing. Her color starts changing from wrath to fear. And then Jack's never seen this feeling before, fear from someone to him. So Jack kind of backs off, like surprised by this, and then she's gonna, as presumably looks like she's gonna kill Jack at this moment, but the Jack just stabs her in the throat, and he just sees blood spurting from her wound, and Jack's like, "Wow, this color is beautiful," because he's never seen anything like this before, and he holds her onto her corpse, saying, "It's like yeah, no, you're so beautiful, mom." Then he goes off, finds his dad, kills his dad as he quotes Macbeth because Jack really likes to do that. Pretty cool for him. He goes, kills his dad, then continues off, runs off into the alleyways of England and becomes Jack the Ripper. If you read the spin-off manga, you know exactly why I did that. And then we cut to modern time with Jack, participating in Ragnarok, where he gets Harlock, and pretty messed up scene from Brunhilde, but Brunhilde has to do whatever it takes to have I'm so sorry, humanity win. And yeah, she tells Hulk, you're getting paired up with Jack, and she's like, no, I ain't gonna get paired up with that murderer. Then Jack appears behind her, starts choking her out to force her to become part of his molding, and she does. In like this is the only time you ever seen like be involuntary. Like the others were voluntary, but this is the first time and the only time you've ever seen it where Jack essentially just forces her to become his gloves. Then he goes off to fight Hercules, and it's a great match. I'm just gonna go through this real quick because I can't do this any justice. I really can't do this fight any justice just by words. I'll just go through the most important parts, like Jack pretending the large scissors are his main weapon. It turns out no, it's the whatever could fit in the bag and stuff like that. He just screws with all, not just Hercules but everyone in the audience, his fellow humans and the gods, and yeah, he's just fooling everybody really. uh, it's really crazy here with Jack, because Jack, I love how intelligent this guy is, and he is very skilled. Where it's just absolutely superhuman, where he's able to set up traps so quickly that Hercules doesn't even see them coming. Like when he first like runs away from Hercules, and then when Hercules turns around the corner to approach Jack, there's a wire, and Hercules sees it, and he's like he immediately just swipes at it, and then a bunch of knives comes at him. But obviously they don't hurt him because weapons don't hurt gods, which is interesting. So Jack obviously had to set it up with his gloves, right? So does that mean he could selectively make weapons, divine weapons when he touches them? Because he would have had to set up the string and the knives, unless he had a different pair of gloves and just quickly just switch them out, which I could buy he would probably do, to be honest. He's very quick, as he just sets up many traps and then just grabs Big Ben's clock, throws it at Hercules, just completely outsmarts Hercules. Hercules being the first one to figure it out, like, yeah, it's really the gloves that are the main weapon, and Jack just kind of like yeah, you found out, but it's time to essentially just kill you, and then they fight for a while again, great fight, and Jack does a lot of bets here, like when he gets up on the tower and Hercules hit, hits him down, and Jack lands on a fence with spikes, and he gets impaled, which was a part of his plan. He got it for two reasons: to make him three. Now that I think about it, one, to make it look like he's really good, he's really almost out of the game. Two, to get the bar and hide it in his sleeve. Three, to have that as an insurance so he could soak his gloves in that blood. Freaking clever guy, I gotta say. And then we get this one scene where Jack, as he's fighting Hercules, he gets his blood and like makes like a Joker smile out of it. It's just very creepy, especially in the anime. I think the anime did that pretty dang well. As he just goes up to Hercules with a piece of wood and a piece of a frame of a door, and just goes up to Hercules and starts fighting him hand to hand. Of course, this is all part of his plan to get closer to Hercules, to stab him with the bar. Of course, Jack does get a massive hit to the head, and super endurance, I gotta say, for a human. Very impressive. As he does get knocked, he does kind of get a bit delusional as he starts singing "London Bridge is Falling Down," a song that he loved from his mother that sung it to him, and he learned from a Mother Goose, a tale of a bunch of stories together. And then, of course, he goes up to Hercules and attempts to stab Hercules with the bar, but Hercules just backhands Jack. And Jack kind of does the same thing where he's kind of like woozy, gets up, and then Hercules is like, "Yeah, it's time to end this fight." But nope, Jack tricked him. He gets his hand just steps right through Hercules, and Hercules realizes, yeah, he got me. But then Hercules has him. He doesn't have enough strength to strike down Jack, but he does have enough strength to embrace Jack, because his entire fight was essentially good versus evil. Hercules represents mankind at being at, like, at its greatest, as good, and Jack being a humanity's worst, the most evil human on Earth, which is very interesting. Jack is the most evil human on Earth. He's a scumbag. Let's face it, he really is. He's terrible because he takes glee in anyone he murders. Anyone he fancies, when he sees their color, he likes it. He murders them, like like to his own satisfaction. Utterly abhorrent. It really is. Worst human? I mean, in Ragnarok, I mean, I guess, yeah, he's terrible. He's a maniac. But of course, Hercules says, "Yeah, I'll be the one to save you," and they kind of go into a more of ideology of Jack trying to change Hercules' color to make him more like resent him and hate him, to get him to consume by anger. But Jack does it. He's unable to do that. He's unable to change Hercules. As Hercules, when he's in his dying breath, he says, "So Jack, what's my color?" And Jack says, "It's still the same. This is my loss, because this was Hercules won the main fight, but in the end, Jack lost the moral fight where he was unable to change Hercules." And Hercules hugs Jack, saying, "You know what? Humans, they could be pretty bad, but no matter what, I still love humans," because Hercules was a human named Ulysses, and he's like, "Yeah, Berhilde, do what you can to save mankind, because yeah, humanity deserves to continue moving on, no matter how bad they could be. They could be really great." And he dies, and then Jack is just standing there saying, "You know what? I wish I could see him again." And his gloves turn back to Hollock as Hollock says, "You know what? You should be happy. How you feeling?" And Jack's like, "I actually don't really know. I wonder what my color is." And she's like, "Well, you better get yourself, some first aid, because you're pretty beat up." He's like, "Oh, thank you, lady." As he puts on his hat, and he's like, "All right, time to get going." As he's going, a bunch of kids that are supporting Hercules are angry, just throwing rocks and stones at him. Oh, god children. And even some of the humans aren't happy about it, because they were friends with Hercules and they saw him, because he's the one that saved them, and they're angry at Jack, but they're like, it is what it is. Hercules did the best he could, and Jack won. And at the end, even Macbeth says, that even though Jack, he's evil, but in the end, he's still just as human as all of us. As Jack gets first aid, and then next time we see him, which is pretty cool, is when Gold confronts the seven lucky gods, and they're about to, start some with her, until Jack appears. He's like, "Hey guys, anyone up for some tea?" And they're like, "Oh, you're that crazy guy out. No, right? Let's just leave him." They leave, and Jack just watches them as he notices that there's another figure with them, because there's seven lucky gods, but he sees an eighth silhouette around them. It's zero. And then Jack, he sees Gold, as Gold, gives a smile that reminds him of Hercules. And he's like, he's clearly not going to change his ways. He's clearly not going to change his ways. If the humans win and it's all said and done, and he goes back to Earth, he's still going to murder people. He ain't going to stop. He might view it a bit differently, but he's still going to murder people. Like, I don't see him changing his ways, even though he's like, he seems pretty chill, but he's not. As we do see him for the most of the rest of the series, of him and Hollock just hanging out with each other, and in that spin-off of Nostradamus' little adventure, we see him and Hollock just chilling out, and then another one with the it's not it's not cooking, it's science, little mini chapters where he makes a little apple pie with cheese on it, and of course that's taken from his spin-off, which is pretty nice, and I like that a lot. And then, but most of the time we see Jack and Hollock is just them, reacting, and then Hollock and Jack just giving their commentary on the fight. And I do really like that we see that stuff with past fighters that have already fought, like Jack and Kojiro. I really love seeing stuff like that. As Jack would witness, Shinji Hung's and Hades' fight, a commentary on that, or Beelzebub and Tesla's fight, a commentary on that. On that, yeah, it's like that they're good. They're doing pretty good, the humans, but it's not a guaranteed victory. They're still gonna struggle in this. And also, the last time we see them is yeah, Tesla and Tesla's lost, and his sister Valkyrie dies, and Hollock just crying as Jack's in the background, just realizing, yeah, this is another loss for humans, and that's the last time we saw Jack. Which I really, really hope we see more of him because I really like this guy. He's terrible, but I like the guy. All right, let me rate this character. I have a 1 through 10. He's a 10. He's a freaking 10 out of 10. He's how tier of excellent writing. Again, Jack is great. I love this guy. He's excellent writing. This is top tier for as much as little time as we get of him. He's freaking excellent. Just from his backstory, his motives, his reasoning for being evil, like it makes complete sense for him. And again, and then his tactics. He does have a bit plot arc. Well, I just it comes down to if you believe he's just that adorable to get hit by Hercules and be a bit dazed but come back from and fight. Is it plot armor? I mean, humans in here are just tough. They really are. I would have preferred if Jack was like normal, but he's clearly not. He's very intelligent. He's very smart, and he's very durable. So I guess you could just say it's not very much of a plot hole. It's just more of a, I guess, at most I would say a not really a contrivance, just convenience. I'd say. But besides that, God, Jack's is freaking solid. And let me just say my favorite and least favorite moments of Jack. Jack. Okay, least favorite moment. Ah man, again, this is a character. I can't think of anything. Because Jack is just freaking great. I Jack again. There's nothing. I'm trying to think. What's the? I guess. Jack. I mean, no, because when he killed his father, it makes sense. Because he'd be like, yeah, I might as well just kill the guy. I mean, he's the one that the reason why all this had this terrible stuff happen to me, and he killed his dad. I get man. Jack again. Jack's a hard one. I can't think of something I dislike about this guy. I mean, there's stuff to dislike, but my least favorite moment with him. I mean, man, this is hard. Um. Let me know what your guys' least favorite and favorite moments of Jack is. Because my least favorite moment, I guess, man, this is rough. I mean, I can't even say him running away because he was setting stuff up. He was setting traps up, which is freaking great. Um, and I don't want to say being pitiful to the chef because he was obviously playing into it because he is pitiful, but he played it up more because he wanted to get away from getting beaten. I mean, I can't say him saying he had the great like he's the luckiest boy in the world because he did genuinely believe that because he did love his mom that much until he figured out the truth and he murdered her. I guess. Um. Man. I guess. 'Cause I want to say. I guess him gloating on how much he loves killing people. I mean, even though that's something he loves. Again, I'm trying to think of something here. Let me have this. I don't dislike this moment. This is the one that comes to mind. It's just him when he's gloating to Hercules, like, yeah, I love killing people. Like it's because when villains do that, it's really annoying when they kind of give their whole motivations, like, oh yeah, I love doing this, like this monologue. But with Jack, he's obviously winning the fight, and this is a 1v1. He's trying to not break Hercules, but show Hercules like, yeah, I'm like I love doing this because this is what brings me pleasure. I love killing people just because this eye I have that can read people's emotions just gives me the best pleasure. Just reading their emotions, just taking care, allowing me to have the best satisfaction through that. I guess that's my least favorite moment, even though there's nothing wrong with this character at all. Just the first thing I can, not the first thing, but the only thing I can really think of because it's a trope that I don't like. But even though when Jack does it, it works. This is how you do it, guys. I'm just going with it. Forgive me. And my favorite moment with Jack is, I would say his conversation with Hercules at the end, where he was like, you know what, I get it. Yeah, you know what, I was unable to change you, and this was my loss. It was just a nice moment between two people where Jack again he won the fight, but when it came to morality, he just lost. He couldn't break Hercules, and he he took that up like, yeah, I lost. You know what? You won this one. Again, very interesting. You know, kind of almost a twist, a switcheroo on Hades, on not Hades, excuse me, on Zeus and Adam, where Zeus won the actual physical fight, but when it came to an actual fight of endurance, Adam would definitely have beaten Zeus. So a bit different, but almost like, you know, kind of a switcheroo a bit. But yeah, that's really it. That's my Jack the Ripper video. Again, Jack is top tier. I really love this guy. Obviously not my favorite. Adam's still my favorite, but Jack, I can't deny he's freaking. So anyway, that concludes my review of Jack. And again, let me know what your guys' favorite and least favorite moments of Jack is. I'll be very curious to hear what y'all say. So anyway, you guys take care. Have a good one. Later.